Hello, good evening and welcome to my humble model railway, Bedstead Junction. For those of you wondering why it's called Bedstead Junction, it's because it's on a bed, as you can see the headboard down there. Now tonight we're having a little bit of a treat for those of you who are fans of things Sentinel and things Peckett. That's what we're going to be covering tonight. It could be a long video, so be prepared, okay? So now the first one we can see going around is a locomotive. Now I included this one in my previous running session, but I thought I'd give her another chance, okay? Now she was having terrible trouble getting going, and then was a little bit iffy on points as well once I got her going. Now what I've actually done to this locomotive is I've taken the body off. For any of you who ever want to know what I'd like to take the body off one of these, it is quite an involved task, okay? You have to remove the rails, handrails from the front, and there's handrails at the back as well. They need to be removed from the chassis. So, and then undo a couple of screws, and the body comes off. The front of the body comes off, but where it gets involved is actually putting the handrails back in the holes. You can see in the holes where they're meant to go. But anyway, I've managed to get it back together again, and the reason I took it apart was to give it a little bit of an oiling. So I put a little drop of oil on the worm gear, and I could reach the wheels a lot better as well. And as you can see, it's going around quite well tonight. This my little 040 Sentinel shunter, Cattewater. Cattewater, I'm sure there's a correct pronunciation. Someone from Devon, a true Devonian, told me that. Okay, and it's a lovely locomotive, really. Like I say, I thought I'd give her another chance. And you can see her going around pulling her SO wagons. And the reason I bought the SO wagons for it was because this one was actually used at the SO depot at Plymouth. In fact, I think the Cattewater is the name of the dock where it was actually used. Now you can see it's got the three SO wagons as well, and these are all relatively recent purchases. I mean, the brake van isn't. Now I've had that for very many years. Now what we're going to do is we're going to watch it go around for a little bit. I think it looks very attractive in its red livery. What you know, as soon as I saw it in the box in the red livery, I knew I'd made the right choice. And for those of you who have not seen the previous video with Cattewater in, I paid just £50 for this locomotive. It's how much it would have cost new, and I bought it second hand. But the previous owner hadn't used it. The previous user basically bought it, tried it, put it back in the box, and then switched to N gauge. And so this languished in a box for quite a number of years, and I think that's why it's probably just a bit stiff. I mean, so some of these locomotives that have been in storage for some times can be like this, and they need running in again, and possibly even more running in than what you would give to a new locomotive. So I've given it a good chance going round, and we'll watch it go over my set of points in a minute into the goods shed, and we can bring out our other Sentinel locomotive. Now this one is powered by Rolls-Royce, that's what it says on the bonnet, and it's a chain driven locomotive, so it's got no coupling rods on the outside. Okay, and that's where it differs drastically from the some of the other 040 Sentinels. I think the ones that are on sale in the Hornby catalogue at the moment are 040s with coupling rods, whereas these have got no coupling rods, hence well, it might be because they're actually chain driven. Okay, running quite smoothly in my opinion. I mean, considering this, these are 040s with their very short wheelbase, I think they go over points quite well. I mean, they do get the odd hiccup, but even some of my bigger locomotives get a bit of a hiccup on this layout, because this layout will go back tonight. It's literally, I'm going to dismantle the whole thing, and it's going to go back. It's going to be packed away into a track. Will be packed away into a box. None of the buildings are attached to the layout, and and this is where I'll be sleeping. And the reason I did this initially, this layout, for the lockdown. Of course, the lockdown is in many ways sort of over now. I'm still a little bit cautious, but we haven't got the restrictions we had before. And I did this because you know, we were literally locked down. We were locked down with Father, and that got me to go. That sort of gave me the spur to get the railway down out of the attic. And since then, I've been adding to my collection. In fact, this is one of my sort of lockdown or post-lockdown purchases. Cattewater. Now what we're going to do is we're going to watch it go over points, because we can see it go over sets of points here now. Watch it go around the corner by the signal box in just a moment, because that's where a set of points is there. And you've got a right hand point going into a right hand point. So basically it's going to be going over a right hand point. So we're going to run here quite slowly over here now. Now bear in mind this is an 040, a very short wheelbase. I think I handled that rather well, don't you? So, you know, I mean, I did have my problems with Cattewater previously to this, and I think Cattewater has been redeeming herself. Now we're going to be going into the goods shed, and I'll be having a look at our next train, which we put by the 060 shunter. Now, before we do that, perhaps we can have a closer look at the train. I mean, let's bring this round a little bit. We can see if we can go down. Oh, there we are. So we can have a closer look at the train. So you can see there's the SO wagons. We're kind of a view from above, of course. We'll just go backwards a little bit. Sorry, my hand got in the way there, just a little bit. I'm quite close to the controller here. And that's Cattewater, the view from above there. Okay, the controller's right by the camera, so we're going to get a little bit of a hand going into the view. You can see, if we can pick out what it says on there, it's SO Bitumen, Plymouth, Cattewater. It's got the SO logo on the side. Very nice in my opinion. I say, if you do decide to take the body off of this one of these locomotives, you've got the little handrails have got to be pulled out at the front there. And there's a couple of little handrails at the back here, just behind the cab, and they come out as well. And it's really getting them back into the locating holes where they're meant to go back into. And there's even seen where those holes are. Now we'll be moving on now. I'm trying to do this with my other hand actually. Get that for you. So you can see that's the SO tanker. I bought 3 of these. I think they come to £50 odd each. And then the Great Western Hornby brake van there. It's got Saltony written on it. 20 ton Great Western. It's a very old Hornby. I mean, I've had this in my collection for many years. I believe I bought this in the 1990s, and I think it may have been second hand when I bought it. Okay, so that's my little train we're seeing now. Now we're going to put the focus over onto the other side of the layout. There, I think that will do it. Let's see if we can zoom in a little. There we are. Okay, and then we'll watch Cattewater, hopefully going over the points now. It might have a slight jolt because I think it's just catching on the points a little, but its performance on points is much better now. Well, I think that's good. I mean, I'm very pleased with that. So over the points we go. And if you saw my previous video, the locomotive couldn't make its way out to the goods shed because it appeared to be stuck. I mean, I think it's just with the locomotive's a bit stiff through lack of use. I mean, it's as you see now, running quite well, and it's able to back out to the goods shed quite well. A little bit of a slight interruption there on the points, but like I say, I think it's catching on the points rather than losing contact. But it's going over them much better than it was. Oh, look at that, beautiful. Okay, so into the goods shed we go. Now I do believe Cattewater, and if anybody's watching knows, I believe this one is kept on the East Somerset Railway at the moment. Okay, now if it is, I must actually go and see this, see that one, Cattewater. Now the other locomotive, I know for a fact, is on the East Somerset Railway at the moment, because I've seen it and I've actually included it in one of my videos of the East Somerset Railway. Now, we're just going to do a quick change of points. And we're just going to put this locomotive into reverse, and out we come. Now this is Port of Bristol Authority PBA number 39, and this locomotive is actually on the East Somerset Railway. I've stood right by it. The livery's a bit different. I don't think it's got the wasp pattern on the bottom. That's different, but it's the same colour blue. And we'll just bring around the layout a little bit. Just watch it fly through my country station there. Now these probably, even on the, when they were running, even if they run on preserved railways, I think they're probably going to be running no faster than about 20, maybe 25 miles per hour. Because they're shunting locomotives. This one, PBA, Port of Bristol Authority, was used on the Port of Bristol Authority for many years. And there's very small writing on the front of this locomotive, and it does actually say on there powered by Rolls-Royce. Both these locomotives are powered by Rolls-Royce engines. Now one thing you may notice as it's coming round, we'll have a closer look at her in a minute, is that this one has got the outside coupling rods. Okay, so now as you can see, it runs over points very well. Okay, I've no complaints about the way that this locomotive runs at all. And it ran like this virtually out of the box. Now watch it going over this other junction here now. Now it's putting a Siphon van, the brown coloured van is called a Siphon. They were used to carry, I think they were used to carry milk and fruit. Anything that needs to be kept at a particular temperature. And then we also got a well wagon, I believe. Now let's have a look and just see now. These were in my collection for many years. And I've derived a great deal of enjoyment from them. Yeah, it's a Siphon H, BR 543091. That one's made by GMR or Airfix. Okay, and the oh yeah, the 45-ton bogie well wagon in BR grey, that's made by Bachmann. And I thought I'd make up a nice little chain for it, and I've also put a brake van on the back as well. That one's the 4-wheel brake van, and that's also by Bachmann. Very nice. I'll just watch it go round for a while. Okay. Watch it glide over the effortlessly over those points. Sorry about this, about that background noise, and that's my phone. I'll switch on to Do Not Disturb in a moment. Yes, now Sentinels, they're steam locomotives, and the diesel ones were built by the Sentinel Wagon Works of Shrewsbury, England. Okay. Yeah, so they did start off by making steam locomotives, and then they went on to build the diesel ones that we can see gracing the rails at the moment. Yes, and in fact the East Somerset Railway's got a preservation group. Okay, so I need to go out and have a proper look at that now. Okay, so this locomotive, of course, built by Hornby. Very, very nice runner. Now let's just slow her down a little bit. And we'll see if we can have a closer look at her. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to come down a little bit slower, I think. Then we're going to bring the camera down a bit lower. There we go. Okay, so you can, we're just going to bring it around just a tiny little bit, hopefully. And you can see there's a couple of rods. So it does look very, very nice. I mean, it's a fairly recent locomotive from Hornby. Now, in my opinion, even though I'm delighted with Cattewater, okay, this 060 and the way the body is actually put on is a big improvement over Cattewater. Okay, it's all you need to do to remove the body on this particular locomotive is 4 screws, and that's it. But it does have the decoder circuitry, which kind of got to go loose into this sort of front cab area just here, so it tucks up inside. So if you take the body off, you can see which way round it's got to go, because there's a recess up inside the engine compartments there. But you can see on here it says PBA number 39, and you can clearly see the coupling rods there, and into the cab as well. There's a nice bit of cab detail on these as well. So let's come forward, and this is the well wagon here, followed by the Siphon H, followed by the brake van. Try and get some focus over there. Around we come. You can see it going off into the distance over there. Just come back towards me now. Right, so what we'll do is we'll be having a look at the Pecketts. Okay, so Sentinels are built in Shrewsbury. And we're going to be moving over to Bristol manufacturer Peckett in just a few moments. Now, this is what I always regarded as being my nightmare points configuration over here. Okay, we're just going to go zoom out just a little maybe, so we see where we are with this. And let's go up just a little. There we are, so we can clearly see the point configuration now. And it's literally a Hornby right hand point followed by a Pico left hand point, and I've always had trouble with this particular junction here, going from the right hand point into the left. I've actually put a little piece of track in between the 2 points, but it's coming straight off the curve. Okay, so we'll just see how this Sentinel actually handles the junction. You can see just there, just by the platform. Okay, so round she comes. Straight over the junction. Sweet as a nut, straight in. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so that is the Sentinel, and that's the 040 Cattewater and the 060 Port of Bristol number 39. Now, the next one, what I've decided to do was make these into passenger trains, because these little locomotives I do get used quite a lot on passenger trains on a lot of preserved railways now. I'm just going to go onto them now. You see just below you now. I believe we've got a Peckett W1 and a Peckett B2. Okay, the W1 is the 040 and the B2 is the 060. Pardon me. Just double check. Yeah, Bristol Docks Peckett B2 Henry. number 1264. Now the little grey locomotive, the 040, is a Hornby Centenary Edition. Now I've got a little treat for you Sentinel fans as well, an additional treat in a moment. Yeah, it's R3 3825 Peckett 614 Centenary Limited Edition. Peckett and Sons, Bristol. Okay, a Bristol manufacturer. And now we're just going to change the points over. I'm going to be running this particular locomotive out onto the track, and you can see how it's handled points. Now bear in mind it's a very, very small little 040 locomotive, and it's got a very, very small wheelbase, but we'll just see what she runs like now. Right, okay, let's have a look and see now. Very nice little runner, this one, in my opinion. I mean, the coach almost dwarfs it, doesn't it? I mean, look at that. So it's a one coach train tonight for this one. Over those points perfectly. Okay, so that's basically going into a right hand point and then going straight ahead into the station. Let's just bring him into the station again. You can see her running again into the running in. For an 040. Brilliant. Fantastic job of bringing our passengers in. Now we're going to be running over the half-an-hour limit, but I'm not so worried about that now. I'll try not to make the video too long. I think we're getting quite late now. Yes, it's 8 minutes past 10 in the evening. I've had lots of things which I've been doing today out in the garden, so that's delayed me getting my train session started. And virtually my last deed was to go out and water my runner beans, so that's going to be featured on my sister channel. I got a sister channel called Paul Cherry Life. It's only got one video on it at the moment, how to make bread pudding. That's my sister channel. But it might be worth a look if you're interested in some of the things I might be adding on to it. But I decided to do a sister channel so I can keep this channel all about the trains. Okay, beautiful looking locomotive, absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning model in my opinion. Okay, over the set of points there. Now Peckett's, I believe they stopped making locomotives in the late 1950s, early 1960s. And unfortunately, with the way that things were going on British Rail with dieselisation and everything else, and the changing of the way that industry was going to be moving its trains around, and very often a lot of freight was taken off the locomotives, running off from the 1960s onwards. I think probably the need for these kind of locomotives wasn't quite so strong. Now, Peckett was an interesting place though. I believe it was just off the Midland railway line between Bristol and Gloucester. Now, not far from the junction for Mangotsfield, so it does have a lot of history in relation to the railway line which ran from Bristol to Seven Meads, and then to the Midland Railway route, which was subsequently closed, unfortunately. I believe that line was closed in 1969, but by then the Peckett locomotive works, I believe, had already been closed as well. Now it's putting a single coach tonight. It's putting a Hornby Great Western coach, and these coaches, they're in the railroad range and they're virtually identical. The ones which are in the railroad range for now are virtually identical to the ones that I bought in the 1990s. I think this is one of the ones I bought in the 1990s here. Let's bring her in for a little closer look, shall we? I think from here you can see a lot of her attributes. Beautiful livery. I mean, I believe it's photographic grey, isn't it? I think the reason why they had photographic grey maybe was because making the locomotive look nice. Because remember, back in the day, I don't think there was so much colour film about, and so a lot of locomotives would have been photoed in black and white. So maybe that's why they were called photographic grey. But this one's it's beautiful. I mean, look at it. It's got the copper cap chimney. It's got the safety valves and everything else. Lovely. I mean, really nice. I think when Hornby made this one for their Centenary Edition, they definitely put out all the stops. Some people might say it was an awful lot of money to pay for one of these locomotives, but for what went into it, I mean, you could get, I mean, you can get like something like an 060 or even a 460 for not much more money, but they really did go to town on these in my book. Very heavy for its size. I think that must account for what his performance is like on the track there. A lot of metal went into the construction on these as well for the models. They don't have sprung buffers. In fact, the Hornby offerings of this size don't have sprung buffers. But to me, I'm not that concerned about sprung buffers. Some people say that's, you know, a sprung buffers are a sign that you're getting your money's worth. But for me, they're really, unless you're really going to be close coupling, which you won't be on a track like this. Sprung buffers aren't so much of an issue for me. Let's see now, she's, let's bring her forward a bit more. No, wrong way. And we'll let her go around the track just a little bit more now. We'll see if we can get a better look at it from here actually. Be an aerial view, possibly with the controller getting in the way a little bit. There we are, number 614. Now, down along the running plate down there, it says Peckett and Sons Bristol. And me being a Bristolian, okay, the Peckett locomotive, Peckett and Sons Bristol, was an absolute must for me. I mean, you know, it was a destiny that I was going to be buying one of these. Okay, and you can clearly see the 040 construction down there and the outside cylinders. Beautiful detail around the cab. I mean, what a lovely looking little locomotive. Beautiful. Let it pull away nice and easy now. Just bring the camera up and we'll bring it around. Let it go around the track one more time. And then we'll move into our last locomotive. Now, I think I'm going to be going over the 30-minute limit on my camera. So if this will mean me doing this video in kind of one large section and one smaller section added onto it. And I'll be dealing with that on the computer. I've got editing software which I can put the clips together. Now, some of you will be filming on cameras, camcorders, SLRs, mirrorless cameras, phones, and whatever you use. I mean, it's whatever suits us. I mean, I'm shooting on a mirrorless camera tonight, a Canon M50, and it's got an added video light to try and bring some more light on the subject as well, which seems to have made all the difference. That's a Ulanzi VL49, very, very inexpensive. I got mine from Amazon, about 20 quid I think, this video light, and it's made a lot of difference to my filming. Now we're going to bring this one into the station, and then we'll be moving on to our last locomotive, which is the Peckett B2 Port of Bristol Henry. Now, of course, there's two locomotives we've seen tonight, which had... Right, now you may see a slight sort of lack of continuity, and if that's there, I do apologise. The camera did run to its 30-minute limit, so we'll be going slightly over this now to be able to show you the last locomotive for tonight. Now let's run our little 040 Centenary Edition Peckett locomotive into the station, and you'll see what she's like going over points there. So it's going into a right hand point and then straight on into the station. Perfect. No, we don't want that. I nearly set the points up for a great train disaster then. Okay, so watch her come in over those points. Didn't stop. Into the station. Beautiful. What a lovely sight. And we'll just reverse her back a second. There's something I do want to show you. We've got naval personnel waiting for their train tonight. Okay, so they're going to be joining their ship now. For some great seafaring adventures. Now then, here we come. There we go. Perfect. Now we need to have a change of points. That is the Peckett B2 there. It's an 060 locomotive. So it's slightly larger. Everything about it is larger. It's got a larger cab. It's got a family resemblance though, because it's still a saddle tank. These are both saddle tanks. And they've got the copper cap chimney and the brass dome there. I think there's a safety valve dome there. Brass whistle. This one's in lovely lime green livery. Port of Bristol Henry. Again, what a lovely locomotive. Okay, so just gonna have a quick change of points, and I'll try not to knock the tripod over. That's my one of my party pieces. And we'll just watch this one, and again you'll see this one going over the points. And because of the setup, it's sort of it's a curve going into the points. So go into reverse. And as you see tonight, we've not had any major problems with points or stalling or stumbling or anything like that. All of my locomotives are acquitting themselves quite well. And Cattewater, the red locomotive, I mean that's getting better by the minute. Okay, so my belief is it was probably kept in the box so long it literally needs to be broken back in again. It needs to be sort of not broken in maybe, but running. So let's have a look and just see now. Again built in the Peckett locomotive works in Bristol. And again a beautiful runner. I was putting 2 BR Mark 1 coaches tonight. So I do that for variety. And okay, if you look closer, you would see that they got M's on them, M numbers. So they're strictly speaking Midland region, but I do use them on for my Western trains as well. And of course, Peckett being situated off the Midland main line, it seemed quite legitimate for me to put the BR Mark 1 coaches on. A little bit of artistic license. Okay, so this is Henry 060. Now we're going to be returning to Sentinel. Now what I may do, my next piece which I'm going to be filming, I might put at the beginning of the video, so you may have a slight sort of a... I'm just in two minds actually whether I'll put the next shot in the beginning or the end of the video. I think I'll leave it on the end for a grand finale for you, and I'm going to do it, feature it in another video as well. For you Sentinel fans, the bygone days of road transport, suitable for 00 scale model railway layouts. Trackside limited edition. Let's zoom out just a little bit, we can have a proper look at it. And it's a Sentinel lorry. Beautiful, look at that. I can see it's got the railway kind of reference there, with somebody operating the signals there. So, trackside. I'm going to have a quick look at it while we're watching our Peckett go round. Now I do believe that these were steam powered, these lorries, Sentinel lorries, and they were used quite a lot in industrial situations. I'm just going to get her out of the packaging. Have a little look at her. Oh. A bit tight in the packaging. Well, out you come. That's it. Got a little hook there. Bear with just a moment. There we go. So we'll just stop our Peckett locomotive just for one moment, and we'll have a look at our Sentinel lorry, okay, which will be getting parts outside the goods shed on a lot of my running sessions now. Okay, there it is. What a little beauty, eh? Sentinel lorry there. Sons of Brother Limited. North Allerton. Superb. Yep, there's a steam lorry. I thought I'd give that for you a little treat for you Sentinel fans. So you've got the 2 Sentinel locomotives and the Sentinel lorry tonight. And for you, for us Bristolians who are fans of Peckett locomotives, you've had 2 Pecketts. I think it's going to be about as much interest and excitement as I can offer you tonight. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, now we'll have a close look. It's try and get a close look at our Peckett's locomotive. We'll bring it around. It'll be like kind of an aerial view, but we'll bring it around now. Right, we'll see what the what it looks like now. Let's come down there. There it is, 060, Port of Bristol Henry, and you can see that it's got the copper chimney, the brass safety valves, whistle. Absolutely gorgeous. Got the red, you can see it down there, yeah, the lovely red coupling rods. Outside cylinders once more. Green wheels. What a little stunner. What a little stunner. Beautiful. Okay, so what I do is we're going to break things up off for now, okay? Now I'm going to try and get this video out tonight. It's 10:25 in the evening, okay? So I'll get this out either later tonight, so I'll be there for you early in the morning. I want to catch up in the week on it. It's Tuesday night, Tuesday the 24th of May 2022. Okay, and there we go. We're just oifing up just a little bit there, and there's our Sentinel lorry in view as well. Okay, now if you like what you see, please press the like button. It does make a lot of difference to me. It means a lot to me. And if you're not subscribed before, please subscribe. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. You don't need to pay a subscription, but it does mean that you'll be alerted to future videos of mine. Okay. Now on that note, I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and I should bid you farewell and bye bye for now. Thank you very much.